Hey everyone, happy Friday. Jay Harris, Antonieta Collins with you to start your weekend. Toronto striking first, and believe it or not, it wasn't Kawhi Leonard leading the Raptors to their biggest win in history.
Nope. At one point, Pascal Siakam was 11 for 11 from the field, the longest streak in any finals game over the last 20 seasons. If you didn't know him, we'll introduce you. Hey, meet Pascal Siakam. Oh, that's Jurassic Park. We'll get to Pascal in a second. Warriors, Raptors, Drake wearing a Del Curry jersey. Raptors defending well early on. Steph Curry trying to get free up top. Marcus Gasol, good defense. Curry shot, no. A little later, Kyle Lowry stealing it away from the Warriors and the Raptors running on the other end. Gasol eventually going to get it up top. Jumper, give it to him. Put it in. Take the shot, man. Warriors held to just 21 points in the first quarter, fewest in a finals game for Golden State since 2016. So how did the Raptors do on the offensive end? Well, Kawhi, double teamed up top, gives it to Gasol, gives it to Fred VanVleet, knocking down the J. Second quarter, Kawhi driving, draws four defenders because he's Kawhi, kicking out to VanVleet. Three-pointer, under a minute left in the half. Marcus Gasol gets Curry down low. Oh, mismatch, turn around, give me that. Gasol and VanVleet combined for 21 points in the first half. Raptors up 10 at the break. Teams to lead by double digits at the half, and the finals have gone on to win 12 straight since then. Third quarter, that's my man, Pascal Siakam. Backing down Draymond Green. Layup, they call him Spicy P. You're about to see why. Raptors up 10. Siakam, baseline jumper. 2 of 2. Staying hot. Little later, in transition, tough layup. 3 for 3 from the field now. More Siakam, Raptors up 8 on the fast break. Kawhi, hey man, you take it. Layup again, 4-4 from the field. Okay, nice 5 of 5 under 5 minutes to go. Good defense on Curry. Gets it again, little layup. 26 points on 11 of 13 shooting through 3 quarters. My man is on fire. He shot 82.4%. Tied for the third best in an NBA Finals game with a minimum of 15 attempts. You see, he had 26 through 3. Wow. Okay, here we go in the fourth. Raptors up 7. Who? Pascal Siakam. What? Hot. Spicy P. Low off the glass. Made 11 straight field goals. Longest streak in the last 20 NBA Finals. Hey, that's what we said at the top of the show. Raptors leading by 8 now. Kawhi on the wing. 3. Mr. Looney, they keep pouring it on. You got a shot all up in your face, Mr. Looney. Kawhi finished with 23. Raptors lead is 10. Just over 3 minutes to go. VanVleet, desperation 3. That's just how it rolls in Toronto. Remember that Kawhi shot from the corner? And that, they just, look at him going crazy in Jurassic Park. The lead is 13, trying to close it out. Siakam, oh no, he missed a shot. Oh no, he followed it up. Finished with 32. Then Draymond Green and Drake get into it a bit after the game. What you say? What you say? Your mama. Who? What? Oh, no. Raptors take game 1. They win 118-109. We're going to talk a little bit about that a little later. But for now, we'll talk about this.
It just proves that, you know, if you put the work in, man, and it's something that is so cliche most of the time, but, you know, that's the story of my life. Just going out there every single night, working hard to get to this level and knowing that, you know, I have so much to learn and I have, you know, so much room to improve and grow. I think that's what makes it fun. And for me, just kind of falling in love with the game and wanting to get better and wanting to learn.
I let him get in the rhythm in the first half, first quarter, really. So I got to do a better job of taking this rhythm away, and I will. But, you know, he had a great game, but that's on me.
And obviously the Baz, we were down 0-1, but it's not the end of the world. You know, new experiences for us all the way through, but, you know, we've proven our resiliency and ability to win games that we need to and kind of answer the bell and learn from, you know, nights like tonight.
Let's go with the numbers on the Raptors' big win in Game 1. It had been 13 years since the team won their first ever finals game. That was the Mavericks in 2006 against the Heat, who also made their debut in the finals in that game. Now, Toronto scored 26 points in transition, tied for their second most in a game this postseason, and the most Golden State has allowed in any game this postseason. And the Raptors forced the Warriors into tough shots, contesting 44 of their 78 attempts, and they shot only 23% on those. That was the Warriors' worst percentage in the last 5 postseasons. Stephen A., what you got?
You really had nobody for the Golden State Warriors who stepped up. So when the Golden State Warriors doubled Kawhi Leonard, he had help. When Toronto doubled Steph Curry, he had no help. That was the difference in game 1 of this series. Big boys on Toronto assisting and folks doubling up on Steph Curry and the Warriors having no answer. If that continues, all this talk of a three-peat involving the Golden State Warriors will go right out the window. They better get their act together fast.
Oh, yeah, and Pascal Siakam was 14 for 17 from the field in game 1. Good for an 82% mark. According to Elias, that is the second highest field goal percentage in a player's NBA Finals debut. Siakam's figure is sandwiched between Hall of Famers Adrian Dantley and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Michelle Beadle and the Countdown crew with more reaction.
The Toronto Raptors with a huge Game 1 Finals home win, and the player of the game, Pascal Siakam.
He did a terrific job in all facets. Defensively, he locked down. He did a terrific job of switching out. He got out in transition and finished. He made his open three-point shots. He passed the basketball. He was the engine that drove what they did in the half court and in the full court. He was amazing tonight, putting up big-time numbers. He was my MVP for game 1.
What I'm most impressed about, he did it against Draymond Green. And Draymond, as we know, he's one of the better defenders we've seen in a long time. He didn't care who was on the other end. He came to work. This is the finals. He said it in his interview with Doris Burke. This is just for my dad. I just keep thinking about my dad. So it was very personal. Didn't matter who he's playing against. I'm proud of him. He did a great job.
So if you're Nick Nurse and your coaching staff right now, how much more of a positive are you taking away from this? Because all season long, the narrative with this Raptors team has been Kawhi Leonard, and does he trust his teammates? And tonight, he was allowed to do that because he didn't have to be the man.
Yeah, I think we saw that the last few games of the Milwaukee series as he continued to get crowded once he got into the paint. He found open teammates for threes. He found Gasol in that pick and roll to where, like a hockey pass, when he passed to Gasol, Gasol made the extra pass. So if he continues to do that, I think the defense is going to loosen up because these guys are scoring from the perimeter. They're getting the ball inside. And if he continues to do that, things open up his game to where now he can get to the mid-range. Now he can come off the pick and roll, and the double team won't be there. He can knock down threes. So he's doing the right thing because they're going to continue to W, and his teammates continue to hurt him. Then that bodes well. He doesn't have to be the best player as far as scoring because these other guys are stepping up.
If you're the Warriors, what are you thinking? Obviously, look, Toronto has the home court. They are supposed to be the better team, but yet they were treated as an underdog. What do the Warriors do next?
Well, I think if you're the Warriors, you think about let's steal one game. Let's steal one game. We go in here to game 2. I mean, end of the day, they won a big game 1, but they were at home. You celebrate this one tonight if you're Toronto, but you can't get caught slipping in game 2. Because if they win game 2, they steal home court advantage. They go home. We know how tough it is for them to play, for anybody to play.
Is KD going to be playing in game 2?
Maybe.
Is KD going to be playing in game 2?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, I'm just saying.
Well, the Warriors
They're going to need him.
The Warriors are battle tested. They're not going to get rattled from one game, but this is the first time they've ever been down 1-0. This is the first time they started off the finals on the road.
That's crazy.
And they're not healthy. So a lot of things going against the Warriors in this situation. It's not the same as before. So,
but don't let off the throttle.
No,
you
don't underestimate a champion.
Yes, no question.
There's a reason why they've been in the finals 5 straight times.
And for anybody who's been watching, if you're continuing the drinking game throughout these finals, Drake was escorted out of this building after getting into it with Draymond Green. So that's just game 1.
Very nice.
Back to you.
Speaking of that, Michelle, so Drake didn't rub Nick Nurse's shoulders, Jay, but he did take it to Instagram to troll. He posted this video of himself picking lint off Steph's hair, saying he was auctioning it off on eBay.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. Yes, and using the name Draymond shouldn't wear 23, referencing that Green is not worthy of wearing the same number as MJ. And before that, he got into a little banter with Drake. He talked about it post-game.
Just wanted you to talk a little bit about that post-game scuffle between you and Drake.
You got a question about basketball? It wasn't really a scuffle because I didn't hit him and he didn't hit me, or I didn't push him and he didn't push me. We talked. We barked a little bit, but I wouldn't necessarily consider that a scuffle.
Feisty, eh? You had to know that question was going to come.
Yeah, but I looked it up. A scuffle is defined as a struggle at close quarters with disorder and confusion. So Draymond is right. They were close. They weren't struggling. It was orderly. They were not confused. Game 2 is Sunday, and I can't wait. Howard introduced as the Michigan Wolverines' new head coach Thursday. He said he expects to return to Michigan. His return to Michigan will continue to mend ties between the program and members of the Fab Five team from the early 90s. He played in the NBA 19 seasons, has been an assistant on the Miami Heat staff for the last 6. And as you might imagine, coming home is pretty special.
I said I wasn't gonna cry. Last time I had a press conference in this building was 1994. I declared that I was gonna go to the NBA. Felt like I was letting down my teammates because I didn't do what I came here to do. And that was to bring a championship to this university. A university that I care so much about. I guess you can see that now, huh?
You can't make that up, huh?
No, man. Cry. Let it go. Just let it go.
The human touch, man, that's awesome. You can't help but cheer for him.
Absolutely.
That is your half hour headlines.
What finals feel like.
Whatever it takes to win.
And we're down to the last two for the NBA title. Siakam has done it all tonight for Toronto. What a night for this young man. Pascal Siakam with a 32-point game in his first appearance in the NBA Finals.
Who better to help us make sense of everything that happened last night than our NBA analyst, Tim Legler. Tim, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me in this morning.
Yeah.
Defense, man. Toronto.
Yeah.
We'll check it out and tell us exactly what you saw last night.
Well, look, when you play the Golden State Warriors, if you're not willing to have body contact on the perimeter, you don't have a chance to play them. You're going to be reacting to them all night. I thought Toronto was very physical with them. I thought they did a great job committing to a game plan and executing it. And the one thing the Warriors do better than any team I've seen is they beat you up if you have lapses. And you didn't see that out of Toronto. They played physical. Marc Gasol was a guy I was worried about going into the series and his ability to play out on the perimeter and ball screen. But you see his activity. Nice hedge on Steph Curry, then gets the high hands and the deflection here once again. If you're back right there, Steph Curry's going to pull up, hit a three. Instead, he jams him up on the sideline, forces a jump ball. So I thought, for me, it was about the commitment to making sure you chase guys off the line and then you get out there and contest shots. You have to play the Warriors throughout the entire 24-second shot clock violation, 24-second possession, rather. It's exactly what Toronto did repeatedly throughout the game. I thought it was a great game plan that they came up with, but it doesn't matter if you don't execute it and stick with it because the Golden State Warriors are known to beat you late in the shot clock once you relax or let down or you think the play is over. Toronto had none of that, and Golden State's used to getting that out of you. They wear you down mentally with how they move the ball and how much they run. Toronto was committed to chase those guys all night long, hit them, touch them, and just a great effort. They outplayed the Golden State Warriors in literally every facet of the game.
That number we just saw, I want to reiterate that for a second. The Warriors finished the game shooting 10 of 44, 22.7% on contested field goals, worst in the last 5 postseasons. That's crazy good defense.
Great defense, and they did it throughout their entire roster as well. And I think Nick Nurse going in was a little bit concerned about what lineups he was going to have to play, adjustments to make, particularly with his bigs. No need to worry, at least through game one, because Marc Gasol showed that he was going to do what he needed to. He could get out there, slide his feet. He could bump Steph Curry. I looked at the way they played pick and roll last night. It was very similar to me to the way the Cleveland Cavaliers did it the year they beat Golden State in the NBA Finals. People focus on Draymond Green getting suspended, and that's why the Warriors lost. Well, that only counts for one game. The reason that series turned to me because Cleveland got more physical out on the perimeter. Tristan Thompson in particular, I remember how physical they were on Steph Curry and hitting him and not giving him space to get off and get into a rhythm. He put up good numbers last night, but a lot of those came at the foul line, and some of those fouls were out on the floor. They didn't get the barrage of shot making where you just kind of hang your head and it feels like a gut punch. They never allowed Golden State to do that to them in the second half and turn this thing into stealing a road win. Give Toronto credit. They were great last night.
Tim, and you mentioned the adjustments Toronto made. So how about the Warriors? We saw that they were struggling on both ends of the floor. What are your top adjustments for them moving on for game two?
For me, the thing that stood out more than anything else from that game last night was the push up the floor by the Toronto Raptors and the number of easy opportunities they got. and the way they continued to put Golden State in a bad spot defensively with their initial surge, it almost seemed like Golden State didn't expect this from the Raptors. They knew that you're going to have to deal with Kawhi Leonard, give him a lot of attention. You know, role players are going to make some shots at the three-point line when you do it. But it was this initial push and the transition opportunities that Golden State, to me, was a little bit lackadaisical in getting back. And when they watched the film, and you heard Steve Kerr allude to it, you heard Draymond Green allude to it, that's the first thing that's going to jump out to them when they watch the tape. That looked like the Golden State Warriors running instead of the Toronto Raptors, and that's where the adjustment has to come, because there were some very easy, I would almost call them practice-type plays that Toronto got themselves into with breakaways, leak-outs, one pass ahead, three-point shots. Golden State can't allow that many easy points in an NBA Finals game. It was not their normal caliber transition defense. To me, that's the first place you start defensively with Golden State. They've got to limit that number down to single digits.
Game 1 of the books, a couple days for Game 2. Sunday night, 8 Eastern, ABC. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.